Oh, good, bro. It's actually I streamed so I was at home for 2 days, and then before heading on the road here, but it wasn't pausing, bro. So
Here we go.
Is that a sign that we buy because the war's over?
Yeah. Could you imagine if we sell the news on this?
Sell the what's it? Sell the news, buy the rumor.
Yeah, buy the rumor, sell the news. So if we've already bought it based on the war ending, and then we get to the point where it is actually over and it drops,
yeah, and then it starts to drop.
Points.
Yeah.
All right, we are gapped up a whopping 5 cents right now, everyone. So very careful, very, very careful.
What's up, Pipti? Yes, sir.
That's obviously a joke. You don't need to be that careful. It's
it's
a nothing gap.
Jeez, why?
7 seconds into open, we should almost immediately push down right here, I believe, on Qs.
Yeah, or look not. At jeez. YM's absolutely tanking.
Did it fill into open? What would we open at? Open was 729.74. I don't know what our previous day's close was. SPY did what it was anticipating to do.
Look at YM, dude. YM just shoving down.
Yeah, QQQ should probably come back down then. I don't know. YM sucks.
Yeah, it actually trades so differently. Yeah. What's my DAX doing? My DAX is looking good. Let's actually get that up. Yeah, I'm still.
YM stinks.
Yeah, there's my DAX. So I'm currently still up 64 points at the moment, 65.
Nice. Good morning, Kyle. How you doing? Futures Kyle. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's because it's price weighted. Andre and we've spoken about that on stream.
It's still got. I know it's price weighted, but it's still essentially the same 20 assets that NQ has, the top ones.
Yeah.
Minus maybe like a Home Depot slip in there.
Yeah. You'd have to get the exact names on the screener. I know JP Morgan's the biggest one in it.
So Goldman Sachs, Caterpillar, Microsoft.
Sorry, Goldman Sachs. Yeah.
And Nike, Walmart, Cisco, 3M, Nvidia. Yeah, these two being down then. I mean, it's still what? Why is it always diverged?
Yeah.
Because those companies should theoretically be holding the same assets as what's in the Mag 7, right? It's not like they venture out. It's not like Goldman Sachs was honored explaining this yesterday.
As you said, it just does its own thing sometimes, bro.
It does.
I actually don't hate. I'm just watching this. Sorry, Zink. Let me just. I don't hate a potential short off of this level. Obviously, I'm not going to take it now, but we'll see how it reacts. But I don't hate a potential short of here. We're back at Asia highs, and we struggled to move higher yesterday too. So I don't hate the shorts off of this level. Potentially back down to like 29 Asia lows, 29,800, call it.
Yeah, we should. We haven't filled the gap yet on Q, so we should go down and fill that. It's previous day's close was at. Find it 45 close 729.47, and I think it just hit almost off by a couple of cents. There we go. Gap filled. Scared us there for a minute, Qs. The other thing to add in for today, everyone, diverged inside bars. They also only happen 4% of the time. And we can actually.
I think I'm just scalping a short here. I'm in at 54. I'm a minute down, so I'm probably gonna. Yeah, well, NQ. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see if I can trade it back towards the daily view app. Just a momentum play. Okay. Yeah, back at 30K. I'm going to take that for about 35
Very
points.
Nice. Yeah, right back down to 30. That would have been a fantastic 112 point short if you really knew.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, sorry. I only got 40. Sorry.
Amateur.
Yeah, but that's just playing that momentum play. I'll bring my screen up now in a second. But just getting underneath the New York Session Open View app, and we're kind of making like a higher and get back underneath it. So I like sometimes I'll take these momentum plays at the open, but no, I won't hold these trades for like the whole day. Like I'm really out of it.
Yeah, I like it.
Targets would be, if I really knew what I was doing, would be daily view app, which is back down at 29,969. But I like these type of scalps. I'm not looking to be like the home run that I'm holding for the whole day,
Yep. I gotcha.
So my confidence also on that trade is there's two things why I like the shorts there. One of them is an edgeful stat, which I'll bring up in a second here. Let's go like this. So one of them is an edgeful stat. Let me just get up Zinc before I show you.
Screen's up now.
Okay, so the first one, the first reason is, let's go to a 15-minute time frame, is we're coming off of Asia highs. So in my pre-market prep stream that I do every single morning here with edgeful, I speak about levels. So levels that I like to trade off of. Asia high was one of them, right? Where we actually melted quite a bit off of that Asia high level. The second one is we have taken out the previous day's lows from the extended market hours, which is that white dotted line coming across my screen. So because we've already taken out those lows, we could potentially come back and revisit them because of that edgeful stat, the previous day's range report, which is over here. I've already got it up on NQ. In the last 6 months, if we take out the highs, 80% of the time will close as a bullish closing day, and 63% of the time if we take out the lows. Not a great stat on the shorts. That's why I also was quite quick on aggressive profit taking, but it does lead me to take the shorts off of that level instead of looking to play the bounce through it.
Very good.
You guys, sorry, you think? No, those are one of the two reports I really like: the previous day's range report and the opening candle continuation report.
We gotta get you start using inside bars.
Yeah, I know. I do look at inside bars as well. So yeah, I do agree.
That previous day's range is insane.
It is with the inside bars.
Yesterday was beautiful. Pip T, I don't use the inside bars by open report. I just use the inside bars themselves. But what I was going to add in there is for these inside bars, divergence on the inside bars, same thing. I don't have it written out for edgeful AI, so you guys will just have to take my word for it. I'll type it out right now so you guys can see. We go into 2 years worth of data. We go into ES and put inside bars on there. Chart patterns, and then we add the report on QQQ or NQ. What I'm getting at here, I'm going to skip the lead up to it. Customize, everything looks good. Inside bars. When QQQ or SPY or NQ or ES analyze reports, 2 reports are ready. When one or the other takes the previous day's low or previous day's high, the other one, I believe, only has a 5% chance of going and taking the opposing direction. So let me mute real quick while I type this out so you don't hear me bashing on my keyboard.
And my so while I'm I took that NQ scalp as well, my my DAX position, which I can you can trade as a futures contract as well with some prop firms. Zinc, I think it's the ticker's name's FDAX. For those that want to look, I do know Tradeify offers it. I'm up 107 points right now. So I'll take that, right? That's not all too bad. Things locked in on the prompts. Smooth, you're asking a good question. I trade them as CFD, so I won't know the tick value, but a simple ChatGPT search should help with that.
I was locked in.
Yeah, no, you were.
We haven't taken out the low yet, David, on either of them.
Okay, so micro DAX is €1 per point or $1 per point, and FDAX mini DAX is $25 a point. But I'm trading them as CFD contracts, so you got to keep that in mind, right?
Yep.
Just value in euros. Well, that's what ChatGPT is getting. Yeah. I don't know. Ask just make sure. Yeah. Please take us through your DAX trade. Yeah, I can. It's actually, I would say this is actually a better trade. It's similar to trade to the NQ, but this is more of like a directional trade rather than a quick momentum scalp. Sorry, Zinc, if I can just take the screen here. Okay, so we take out the previous day's lows, which is that white dotted line. You can get the indicators on the edgeful website. If you go to the bottom there, trading view indicator access. But we take out the previous day's lows. Remember, DAX is open is the London session. It's not the New York session. So we're already into the session where I can take this more as a directional play. So we take out the previous day's lows quite healthily in the Asian session. We pull back into it, and I get short at the break of the daily VWAP. That black VWAP on my screen over here is the daily VWAP. That's where I get short, and I have my stop. I gave my stop a little bit more room than maybe I would have needed, but I liked it. I wasn't, I took the trade and I went downstairs to get lunch. And came back, rejected that daily VWAP, which I liked. Actually added in a small piece over there, and now we're continuing to run. So that's my DAX trade. So using that previous day's range report with edgeful.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Holy drop on Qs. That, in hindsight, taking a look at it, would have been a phenomenal opportunity to try and top call it. There we go. Here are our stats, everyone. So we have a 5% and 6% chance, respectively, that NQ has a bullish breakout and ES has a bearish breakdown, or NQ has a bearish breakout and ES has a bullish breakout. Bearish breakout, bullish breakout, vice versa. So they're both considered breakouts, but 5% and 8% of the time that one of these assets goes and takes that previous day's low or previous day's high, the other one will also go and take that. So 95 and 92% of the time for those stats. So 8% of the time this happens, meaning on the opposing side of that, 92% of the time it does not happen. So only 8% of the time we will have a bullish breakout on NQ, whereas ES goes and breaks down, and vice versa. 5% of the time, ES will take a high and NQ will take the low. That's the same concept that we played yesterday for those IBs, diverged IBs. Only for this one, you don't really have as clean of an entry model. The IB, you can enter at IB 50. For this, the way that I would play it is if you see a breakout of the stat, so ES breaks the low, NQ goes and breaks the high, vice versa, whichever one you see go and break that corresponding level, you can take it on SPY to the low. Or if SPY goes and breaks previous day's low here first, that 748.35, you can go and take shorts on NQ. And that should represent a 92% stat. They line up 92% of the time. Now for the other stats, and this is over the past 2 years as well, so this isn't a small data point. Was that the AI that just took a trade? Algo?
No, that's my Osmo. That's my Osmo.
No. The other stat for these inside bars that I love playing is the breakout report. So you go into QQQ, ES, doesn't matter. Both of them only have about an 8% chance, 9% chance that they will break both previous day's high and low. So once you see one of those levels hit, SPY and or Qs, then you know it's going to stay in that direction, or it probably won't reverse for the day. And those are all my favorite stats to play. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah. I got full out on that wick down. I got on the DAX, so I got my full exit at about 0.30. So I missed about 15 points there, but it is what it is. But hey, Zinc, if I'd hold that even more on the Nasdaq back to where I said daily view, I would have got it. But I'll take the quick scalp.
Hindsight trader.
Yeah, exactly. Hindsight trader. If that bounces,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, if that bounces, you look like an idiot.
Only in hindsight. Only in hindsight. To be fair, that's not what the stat says. It says 5% of the time the asset takes out the other previous day's edge. It does not mean 95% of the time it will take out the same side. What do you mean? If only 5% of the time it goes and breaks out the opposing direction, that would mean that the other 95% either doesn't break or it does go and break the same direction. So divergence in the two only occurs 5 to 8% of all trading days over the past 2 years. And that's saying that 92 to 95% of the time it either doesn't break that low, which we know doesn't happen very often, because if we go to inside bars, it's only 10% of the time, 8 out of 76 trading days, it doesn't break. So you could add in, since it's over 2 years, 24 of those days, 32 of those days would not break, but for them being diverged, that should be what the stat's saying. It says 92 to 95% of the time it will go and break the same direction or not break. I know it includes the probability of not breaking, but as I just showed, the probability of not having the inside bar break is very, very low. So if we added that in as well, the likelihood that they're diverged and then one of them does not go and break and the other one does, that's probably lowers it even more to maybe 95 to 99% of the time. Correct. Yes, smooth operator. It's 2 points of confluence. So one of them is telling you that there's a 90% chance you break the inside bar, and the other one is indicating that when the inside bar is formed, if the stats are diverged, what are the odds that it has a continuation or a break, or vice versa? And we know that inside bars break a significant amount of the time. Didn't happen yesterday, smooth operator. Yesterday we opened outside of previous day's range on Qs, but inside of previous day's range on SPY, which is why I took shorts on SPY to previous day's low. Yesterday was not an anomaly. It happens pretty often where SPY will be gapped up 0.2%, but QQQ will be gapped at 0.1 or vice versa. And one of those will be inside of previous day's range. The other one will be outside of previous day's range. Am I wrong, or does the inside bar by open say we have a 71% chance of touching previous day's high? I don't use that one. I'll go take a look right now. Inside bar by open says over all weekdays, yes. Let's customize it down to a Thursday. 50-50. And open below previous day's 50 has a 66%. Open above previous day's 50 has a 50-50, which I believe we opened right smack dab in the middle of previous day's range. Yeah, we did. Barely above it. I think that's refining it too much, Pipti. I just use the inside bars standard report. This is the one that makes more sense. You don't need to guess the direction the inside bar is going to break because we have the IB for that. 50.
We are taking out the opening range low now on NQ2. Opening range has been set.
Look at the strength we have on SPY compared to
I know
here right now.
Yeah. Also, SPY ES is also it is also holding at that daily VWAP too. Just looking NQ tax.
Yeah, exactly, Pipti. I think it's a little too much that you're digging into. You don't need to refine it down that much. The inside bar by breakout or by open, that one you can use if you don't use the IB. I'm sure it works really well on most days, but the IB is what tells us what the direction is going to be 80 to 90% of the time. Like on Wednesdays, it's a 92% stat and an 88% stat based on which high or low is formed first. I didn't miss your question, Grumpy Life. Where's the best place to learn to use the edgeful? To use edgeful the way that you do with the IB, maybe list of reports right here on the live, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the right place. Not too many resets coming in recently, but I will add that the companies that are adding, so like Tradeify, I'm sure Lucid will probably add one coming up here soon. Tradeify, with those 5 packs that they have, those accounts are selling like crazy right now. So anyone that's buying 5 sets of accounts, I think Apex just added the same thing too. I'm sure they're going to get a crazy amount of money from that. Buying 5 accounts at a time saves you so much time on Apex when you had, I think it took me like.
Did you have to buy it individually?
Yeah, it took me like 30 minutes.
Shit. Oh my
to
goodness.
Buy the 20.
That's crazy, dude. Just to buy your prop firm accounts, it takes you 30 minutes.
I mean, I can't show you because I can't get in the dashboard, but the worst one that I went and bought accounts on was Ola Prime, HOLA Prime. It was like a 4-minute process per account that you had to go and buy.
Jeez.
Because you got text confirmation and then you got email confirmation on the account, and then you had to activate the account with a contract you had to sign. It was just very bad. All right, we're bouncing a little bit. Ooh, looks like we should, if we diverge again today, I'm not going to be too upset because we know how to play it now. And honestly, with that divergence, 17% is better than most of the IB by rejection stats. So that 83% that we get, if these diverge right now, SPY is about to go and take a new high, by the way, James. QQQ is
look at that bounce on
close.
Yeah, look at that bounce on NQ2.
If one of these diverges, we know, let's say SPY goes and takes the high, we can hightail it right into Qs and do the exact same thing we did yesterday and take long.
Also, Zinc, if I can just show this on screen as well, for those that like to use VWAP with edgeful, we are bouncing on, this is a 15-minute time frame. I like to look at the 15-minute time frame just to see where we are instead of just locking in on like a lower time frame. But look where we're bouncing at. This could potentially be like a high low off of that daily VWAP. I'm not saying get long or anything like that right now. I'm just saying just watch that, and that's why I was very scalpy on that short off the highs. It was a scalp momentum play, not a directional play.
I meant to ask you yesterday too, did South Africa also celebrate EID holiday?
As a public holiday.
Yeah, as a like how the UK is pretty much shut down for the week right now.
No.
South Africa doesn't do that.
No.
you. Anyone in the stream on EID holiday right now?
Dude, look at YM. That is crazy. Look at that.
The divergence is disgusting to me.
Well, look at that drop. Look at the drop. Look at the opening range. We are above opening range high right now. We have a 173 point wick on YM.
Yeah, and then what's the? I'm looking at the points on it right now. I don't usually trade YM.
It's similar to. I know it's similar to ES on futures.
So that's a 300 point reversal in maybe 10 minutes.
Dude, that's crazy.
With just a gnarly wick too.
Yeah, I was looking at my stats again from yesterday, Zinc, with from year to date. NQ and DAX is where I'm making my money, bro. So that's why I'm going to share my DAX trades, even though I know some guys don't trade it. A chart is still a chart. I think you can still learn from, even if I'm trading a different asset, you know?
Yep.
Your chart is smooth can make me overtrade.
So if those are the two you're winning on, what do you think you're going to keep doing?
Yeah. I'm going to keep trading those, bro, and stop trading all the other crap.
You guys see how simple it is when you collect data for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
James, what's your New York's view app settings?
Sorry,
it's open high low close 4. That's my settings.
I do see that we're approaching 50% of the IB, but we still have 35 minutes left for the IB to be set. So there's absolutely no rush to get into it right now. Zero rush.
Yeah, zero rush.
While we're waiting for this, I'll show you guys the 2 trades I had on Globex and Asia IB last night. So Asia, I did lose initially. What I've been doing, though, is I've been entering just above, and I know this kind of defeats the purpose of the 50% for the IB. I've been entering just above the IB 50, and I still put the 1-to-1 stop loss on it. So last night I entered at 30.40. Unfortunately, missed full TP by 5 points. It is what it is. However, when I hit my stop just before it hit the stop, I got out. I think I got out right about there. And then I went short to IB low and ended up capitalizing on like 50% of this drop to 30,000, 29,850. And then Globex IB could not have been any better. Globex IB was perfect. We had the high first, still behind by an hour. I don't know why. High first, low second. We had a barely under 50% entry. It did ultimately hit 50%. So if I had waited, I would have gotten my ideal entry, but I hit full TP on this, was up 320, lost 240 on the Asia IB, but then flipped it to shorts and ended up back up 400. So I made more on the drop back down than I did on the loss itself. But I have noticed that when the IB flips the midpoint, so when we're trading the IB, a couple months ago, we got away with this because it was a completely different environment with the IB in the market itself. But when price is over the midpoint of the IB, you're much more likely to go. So we have the low form first, high form second. You retest the midpoint. As long as price is hanging out over the 50% line, it's very likely that it goes up and takes the high. As soon as we do something like this, where price has low, high, you're struggling to get anywhere above like 75% of the IB. As soon as it goes back below, I'm not saying close the trade and immediately flip short, but it signals that it's much more likely that it's going to go and invalidate the IB. And I've noticed this a lot more with Asia and Globex IBs, but it also has helped a lot with New York IBs and avoiding the loss. So last Friday, for instance, we had the high form first into the low. As soon as we flip and get back over the midpoint, it's a lot more likely that we're going to go and take the high, which is what we did on Friday. And I took a pretty nice win on that one, targeting the high. Same thing for Thursday last week. Same thing for Wednesday last week. We had actually, no, never mind. This one was fine. I think it was Tuesday. Yes. Tuesday, high form first, low form second. As long as you're underneath the midpoint, it's fine. As soon as you have a reversal candle that gets over the midpoint, it's a lot more likely it goes in reverses and takes the high. So just something to look out for. Today would be a great example of it on SPY. SPY is at 75% of the IB. And if you guys don't have the data for this, luckily we do have a sub-report on edgeful for this now. It's going into the IB by rejection, customize the report, and then go into the IB ending zone and look at what happens when price ends anywhere above 50 to 75, or even I'll put this to all weekdays instead of refining it. This is what happens to the stats when you end up closing up in that level. So it's not all that likely that you go and take the correct level. Whereas if you're below, or even in that last bracket, 25%, you can see it goes all the way up to 95 and 85. So anytime the price closes above or gets back above the midpoint of the IB, your stats significantly decrease. In this case, for highs, over the past 6 months, when you close in 75%, which is the top range of the IB. So if it's a bearish IB, 75% is at the top. If it's a bullish IB, 75% is at the bottom. Anytime you close in 75% to 100% of the IB, has a 66% chance that you go and take the incorrect level. Hasn't happened many times, it's been 3, but those times that it does happen, it could save you from a loss. We are diverged on the IB right now, which is very nice to see because we understand how to play divergence on the IB now. QQQ, yes, it is at the midpoint, but if SPY or Qs, whichever one of these plays out correctly, we can take the trade on the opposing one. Did I just hear the algo now? I swear I heard a little ding.
Not yet. No.
Let's see how your perception of this is. I remember where I went. So IB by rejection. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Andre was stunned. He was stunned when I showed him this. IB by rejection. Pretty good regular report, right? 65 and 81.
Yep.
How much different do you think this is? It's on an hour time frame right now. How much different do you think this is over the 5-minute IB?
It's probably the same. Open. It's probably very similar. I've seen the stats with the edgeful. Some of them are actually very similar. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. 50. Oh, wow. 50%.
What?
Is that right?
It wasn't this report. What was I looking at?
I know for a fact that like the opening candle continuation, if you look at like the first 30 minutes or first 50 minutes compared to the hour, some in certain time ranges, it's very similar.
Yes, it was this. So it wasn't the IB by rejection. I'm sorry, I messed it up there. But the 5-minute open, if our 5-minute open is green, candle,
yes,
65% of the time we close the day green.
Yep. And
so I was talking to someone last week or 2 weeks ago. They used the 5-minute opening candle continuation, and they front run the entire IB with that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I know that from the opening candle continuation, the stats are pretty solid from a 5 even to like a 15 compared to like an hour.
Yeah,
that's why I front run it as well. The opening candle continuation.
So what they'll do is they'll enter, if it's a 5-minute opening green, they'll enter bullish.
Sure.
And they'll ride that all the way up to 10:30 and set their TP after 10:30 where the IB high is.
Interesting.
What time is Globex IB? Globex is 6 to 7. Asia is 8 to 9. We touch previous day's low, then go back to previous day's high, or IB high. We didn't touch previous day's low, but if that were to happen, that only happens 5% of the time. 8% of the time, sorry. That we go and take both the high and low. It's very unlikely. It's not looking too bad right now for shorts on NQ.
Yeah, I just don't like it's above that the daily view app at the moment.
We have to wait. We have to wait for ES or NQ to go and take one of those levels, and then we can take it on the opposing side. So if ES breaks the high, then we can take longs on NQ. If NQ breaks the low, then we can take shorts on ES. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to be looking for ES probably breaking the high. Again, I think the current market we're in. Also, are we going to get a 1007 wiggle coming up here?
Wiggle. Potentially.
The current market we're in, any downside, and I think it's going to be this way until the news is either confirmed or denied with the war being over. Any downside whatsoever has been aggressively bought up. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting at the level we're sitting at right now. We're all the way up at 30,100. Which, if you do have a short memory, 2 months ago we were trading at 23,000.
Yeah.
I'm going to restate that one more time in case you didn't hear me correctly. Not you, but everyone in chat. 2 months ago we were at 23,000. We moved up 7,000 points on NQ in the past 2 months. So as I always say, if you're struggling in the current market conditions, don't beat yourself up too much. This is not a typical move in the market. Not at all. It's very, very rare and unlikely that we have these types of movement, this type of movement. Not these types of movement. NQ is picking up some strength now.
Yeah, ES is showing a lot more strength at the moment. We're back at, we have actually taken opening range high on ES. The opening 5 candles that you just mentioned would be nice examples. Palantir and Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, you can use it on stocks too, for sure.
Yeah, you can use it on anything you want.
Yeah. Obviously, the percentages will change, of course. Tesla coming back down hard now at the moment.
You guys will be able to play it on... It should be next month. Next month's June already. Holy smokes. Next month.
Yeah, with the individual stocks.
Yep. They should be launching independent
I can already
stock
do it. I
That's
can already
awesome.
do it. CFD's had it for years, dude. It's nice.
So if anyone in here likes looking at reports for independent tickers, so if you want to go and play Tesla's initial balance by rejection on a Thursday, or just do it for all weekdays, you'll have... What the heck? Oh, it's that's why it would look so weird. I'm on the 5 minutes still. These are your stats, 70% across the board, pretty much. So if you like playing Tesla because it moves like crazy into open,
yeah,
next month you will be able to do so. The tickers for them.
I think it's only going to be better for us as day traders, bro. One of the options
absolutely.
guys are going to move across.
Options are going to get destroyed. The
because then you don't
that
have
goes
time
in
to
on them is going to be nothing.
Well, you don't have time decay, right?
Yeah, no theta decay.
Yeah.
So there's zero reason for people to be trading options anymore. After next month, anyway. Why the IBO rejection have less data sets? I have it set to 6 months. That's why. And I was also just customized down to a weekday time frame. So I was looking at Thursdays in particular. For today on QQQ, we ideally want to see the low form first. We have a 77% chance to take the high, but this lines up really well. This data, I like seeing that for the high forming first, 57% and 28%. It's not really that significant. So if ES does go and take the high right at 1030, then we can comfortably take longs on NQ to IB high. Not only can we take that to IB high, but we can take that trade all the way up to previous day's high, 733. Is there a VWAP report on edgeful?
No, there's no VWAP report on edgeful. There's the indicator, the VWAP suite.
For that.
Yeah, it's very that would be a difficult one to get a report on, because like what you want from it, how many times it moves back and forth above VWAP. There's the VWAP suite indicator, which you can obviously have a look at. I'll bring it up here on stream. Over here, VWAP suite. So like over here, sorry, just to take the screen again. Like over here, you can see I'm on test at the moment. We're below the New York session open VWAP, below the daily, but we are above the weekly VWAP. So it shows me, and you can change this whatever you want. You can also have a custom there as well. Looks like I need to update it. Upgrade available. Okay, update to latest version. Let's have a look. There we go. So yeah, okay, but I don't want those lines on. There you go.
Would I take longs right now? It doesn't really make sense to. I think anyway. Is that VWAP we're hitting off right now?
Sorry, that was on Tesla though.
Don't worry, I got VWAP on my chart. It's on there. We are over VWAP right now in Qs. It doesn't make sense to take longs right now, even though we understand how to play diverged IBs. What we have to wait for, and what I waited for yesterday, we don't need the entry right at IB50. We can still go 1-to-1, and if the trade does happen to lose, so be it. If it wins, great, that's what we were anticipating. If it loses, not really anything we can do about that. For these trades though, we need to wait for which one of them breaks. So we cannot guess, okay, QQQ is going to be the one that's correct, or SPY is going to be the one that's correct. I did have that right from when we traded diverged IBs, or didn't trade diverged IBs. Now we just need to locate which one, or identify which one is the correct asset. So the only way we can do that is wait for one of them to break the high or one of them to break the low, and then we go over to the other asset and take longs or shorts. That's the best way to go and play these diverged IBs. You're front running based on divergence sidebar. We haven't taken previous day's low on either of them, or previous day's high. Damn, it started pouring again. What the heck? We've had nothing but rain for the past 2 weeks, James. It was nice yesterday. I take that back, but it's been... NQ took previous day's high. There's no way it took previous day's high.
Oh, here comes it. NQ. Sheesh, look at that. Something's happening.
What is going on with the chart? Oh, TradeZella's not doing this. Previous day's high is not even close to getting taken. The 1013 wiggle. What the heck is happening? So what you guys are going to want to do is go into X. Oh, look at that. He's already pulled up. I go to his page so often. He's already pulled up. 1 minute ago, gas prices post biggest drop of 2026. U.S. gas prices fell 15.2 cents a gallon. That is the only data point that's there. That would have been a very good front run for longs, though. If anyone wasn't long there, holy smokes! Here comes previous day's high now. We're jumping all over.
Jeez, dude, look at that! Oh my goodness, that's just ripping.
Do you see what the NQ chart looks like though? It's all wonky. Now NQ took previous day's high, but it wasn't until this candle right here. QQQ still is yet to, but NQ did. Scratch that. No, it did not. Previous day's high on NQ is 30,192. So about 50 points away right here. Probably going to go and push to it right now. 31.92. I think it'd be a little too aggressive to take a long with that news coming out, but I do like a long up too.
Dude, look at the DAX. The DAX just ripped 200 points as well. That's crazy. Remember my DAX short that I was in that I got out of his lows? Look at that. That just ripped. And a casual off the lows, 250 points. Crazy.
News says Iran accepts deal proposal. I don't believe it unless it comes from Walter. There we go. I believe it now. Walter said it. U.S.-Iran deal pending Trump approval. U.S. and Iranian negotiators have agreed on a 60-day ceasefire and framework for nuclear talks, but the deal still awaits final approval from President Trump. The memorandum would reopen negotiations on Iran's nuclear program, ensure unrestricted shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, and include Iranian commitments on uranium enrichment alongside possible sanctions relief discussions. Officials say most terms are settled. There we go. That's our news. Previous day's high is still intact on NQ. Still there. It is about 60 points away right now. So it'd be a pretty good trade to run it up to that. So we're well over it now on ES. So NQ should also go and take it. You should understand what I mean now by not front running the IB. Like if we had, obviously we were correct in this aspect. We were right with understanding that NQ was probably going to go and take the high. We didn't take anything, but that was the indication. You don't know that until it happens though. So right now you can't be like, oh, well, next time I see this, I'm going to go and take longs for NQ to go and target the high. Obviously we had news come out with this, but you don't know if ES is going to be the one that's right or NQ. We could have just as easily had news that came out and dropped us $5 there on NQ. And then ES would have been the one that was wrong and NQ is the one that was right. So you can't pick and choose that way. I bet there was a load of torched accounts right there, though.
I'm 100%. 100%.
What are you doing?
It's actually quite like these news. Like I'm glad I wasn't in any type of trade during the time, but these news, like headline news has been actually quite. It's very irritating, bro. Because sometimes you're actually in a very nice statistical play, and maybe you're in a trade, maybe you're up, a couple of points, and then obviously it just goes against you.
Yeah, right now is a great example too. If you were shorts. Yeah. Any aspect of shorts. Gold just jumped way up too. Gold just had a 50-point candle. Wow.
Our Bitcoin's not doing great.
Yeah, I know. Bitcoin's in the dumps again. It was back at 80,000 for a little bit, and then
and now it's just coming back. Yeah, it's down off those highs. It was back at 80. Max it got up to on my chart that I'm using with Coinbase. It's 82,800. It's back. It's down 11.5% off there.
Not just the rip due to gas prices. No, it's an actual deal being made.
Yeah, but remember what I was saying though. I was saying this, and this wasn't hindsight. I did say in real time. I didn't obviously execute on it, but remember I did say we are kind of coming off that daily view app. We're bouncing off of it.
You did.
I could see the longs coming in there, but I've already made my money today. So I think that's also something that I think I tend to do well when I am trading at my best. Is I make my money and then I don't try and, because I could have been in a long and it could have come, that news could have been bad and come down.
Yeah. With a news move like this, I don't really know how to go about getting an entry for the IB. I'll be honest. I don't really know what the best... Do we wait for 50%? Will it come all the way back down to 50%, or is it the IB 25? Because this is a pretty big range now, too. We're looking at a $6 range, 300 points. Almost a $7 range. So I don't really know how to go about taking an entry on this. It should go and play out to the high. It should pretty easily go and play out to the high. We also have previous day's high that's barely intact still. We took it very easily on SPY. NQ just barely missed it, 733.13, and then that price on NQ is 30,192. It's previous day's high. IB25 could be a good entry. Definitely. But then again, you have for those IB25 entries, VWAP is way down there now.
Yeah, you're buying it quite far from VWAP for sure.
It is. I'm not being an advocate for going short or trying to call. Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of emails in already. Resets. We have a pretty high likelihood, pretty high chance that news move like this, especially with it not being confirmed yet, that it goes and reverses on itself. Kind of flips on its head. Like, just as well as I do, what would Andre probably have taken right there?
Yeah, short of the highs.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone in the stream knows too.
Yeah.
Yeah, on trade, no, it's at IB25 right now, so it could be a decent bid. But VWAP is mosquitoes. VWAP is way down there, like a little too far down. What would you do, James?
Yeah.
If you weren't already done for the day, what would you do?
Yeah. If I wasn't done for the day, I mean, I might. We'll see what happens. I'm done on my main accounts. Maybe I'll trade like an eval account if I do take something later on, which I think is yours. I like splitting my accounts up like that, Zink. I don't know about you, but I do
too.
Yeah. But I would look for something kind of like this, maybe, where we get a move back towards that New York session VWAP and then a move back higher. That's ideally what I would like to play if I do take it on like an eval later on. No, we're not in a trade. I took a trade on DAX and NQ shorts for a winner.
This isn't too bad of a long entry right now. We're almost at 25% or 50% of the IB.
James, can you explain your support and resistance boxes? A little kind of respecting, would like to know behind. Yeah, 100% Mustang. So I've just got the resistance boxes. I always look at previous days highs and lows and pre-market highs and lows. What this is, it's Asia high, but it's also pre-market highs. So I'm looking at those four levels every single day. Those are like the support and resistance levels that I'm looking at. Pre-market highs and lows and previous days highs and lows. The boxes that I got here on NQ is pre-market highs at Asia highs and then Asia lows, which was pre-market lows. So pre-market highs and lows and previous days highs and lows.
So you could go in, same thing that I was just talking about with the 1-to-1 risks just under the IB50 because we know that when price, so you could take an entry like that, and we know when price gets below 50%, it's not as likely to go and take that correct level. And this is a pretty good retest right now. But this is also what I was just mentioning on news moves. Andre definitely would have taken a short right there. But what do you do for these types of news moves? Because they always, not you in particular, just in general, they very often retrace like this.
They do. I agree with that.
Scorches you a little bit.
Yeah, you better to just wait it out, honestly.
Yes. I don't mind this for an entry right now. That's pretty good.
Remember that. Just also to speak on this, and I think you speak about this quite well, like your motto, like 2 macros. Like if your goal is to make $200 a day trading, right, of real live cash that you can withdraw, whether it's prop firms or personal accounts, you don't need to take 5 trades in a day. You just need 1 or 2, potentially even 1. So, and you know, say whatever you want, but if you can make $200 plus a day trading, that's good money. A lot of people, you know, you trade for 30 minutes in a day, make $200. That's fantastic, you know.
Absolutely. This would be my long right now. This is my long right now. So entry would be or is 30,072, and then stop is, okay, get back to the 15-minute. Stop loss is 29,962. Beautiful.
Are you long now?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
So same kind of concept that I've been doing. I know I'm entering just over 50% of the IB, but it's been working remarkably well. Back over 25. We got 4 minutes till the IB set. 1,700 profit. Very nice. Good job, Zach. Look at that recovery. It's at 50 points right now.
I took the shorts on NQ off the highs. I took in real time here on stream. You can go back and rewatch, but shorts off the highs of the pre-market highs, the Asia highs.
Yes, and NQ lined up about the same. We're not even close to VWAP either. VWAP is 729. It's well under 50% of the IB. Wow, I almost bottom ticked that one a little tiny bit lower. 729.91.
Yeah, that's a good entry, bro.
So TP for me is not only going to be IB high, it's also set at 30,192. That previous day's high. Previous day's high on NQ as well. 30,192.5, but I'll just leave it at 192. It doesn't need to be perfect. If it takes the IB high and doesn't immediately go and take that previous day's high, then we can get out. But it's another 7 points. I'll see if we can run to it. It should be close enough that it just goes and hits it immediately. But exactly what I was saying for news moves like that, it's very difficult to accurately catch the top and bottom. Or if you chase it, then you really get torched. Most news moves happen exactly like this, where it pivots. Like that was a 120-point drop from the high, especially if you're targeting previous day's high like I just was. It's very difficult to not chase into the trade after missing that target by a couple of points. Anchoring view up on news candles helps. That's a little too much for me already. I'm just now starting to use view up. Give me a little bit. I know sometimes you look at what not to trade. It's all based on that. Is that all based on edgeful like Tuesday? Or is it just, yes, it's all based on edgeful stats. So Tuesdays, and I get this question a lot for Wednesday Globex IBs as well. This trade's beautiful right now, by the way. And the concept of this trade as well is if it got below IB 50, that's why the stop loss is set just above the IB low. We can flip the position and go and take it to the opposing direction. This trade is up 75 points right now. Oh man, this is going to be really difficult not to secure. You know what? I'm going to try to leave it. I don't have more than, I don't have enough micros to trim though. I'm not going to trim. I never trim. But anytime I want to move my stop to break even, same thing I told you and Andre, just secure the position instead. And I really want to break even right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll get out. All out. So my exit was 31.54. Right about there. Beautiful.
Nice.
Damn it. One day I'll be able to hold it the full way, but that was a 80-point trade. 82 points. Very nice. 10 points of drawdown on it. Now we should, especially that I'm out of the trade, we should definitely go and take previous day's high as well as IBI. Exited a bit early, only got 100, still a lot. Still a good bit. Beautiful. IB is set now, by the way. We are 2 minutes into the IB being finalized. SPY's a little bit weaker. QQQ still looks fine. We have 2 points of confluence to the upside. We have IB high, and then we also have the previous day's high. IB high on a Thursday, 78% chance. 14. Only 4 of them have lost, 8 of them won. So there's this, there are 7. 9 outcomes, 7 of them won, 2 of them lost. And then alongside that, we have our inside bar, 91.5% likelihood that we go and break previous day's high or previous day's low, which we should go and run to right now. Pretty happy with that secure now. Came down 20 points. Great trade, thank you. Globex in Asia with days you don't trade. Wednesday. Yeah, sorry, I didn't finish that thought. Wednesday for Globex. Go into IB by rejection, MNQ, daily time frame. Wednesdays I don't play it, which would be Tuesday night. I don't play Globex. Or is it Thursday? Thursday data I should be looking at. Wednesday night. Yeah, there we go. So I don't, it's 60-40, and this one was also prior to last night. It was pretty bad. It's not too bad now, 8 and 6, but you can see there's not really that many data points because not many have played out in that way. The majority of them, 15 data points, 9 of them won, 6 of them lost. When the high forms first, 60 and 40. It's not that good of a stat to play for Globex. And then what I've also noticed for Wednesday nights, Tuesday nights as well for Globex IB, when it's set, so it's right here at 6 to 7, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock ET. When Globex sets, you only have an hour for that trade to execute. So you need, if it's too large of a range and you don't go and break the correct side, prior to 8 o'clock, you have to get out of the trade because Asia will typically go and set a different direction on the IB. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just too short of a time frame between them. It would essentially be the same as New York going directly into Globex. Like we were trading that 10:30 to 11:30 window for Globex, and then we have that New York IB right before it finalizes at 10:30. So it's just too short of a time frame. And if they end up forming diverged IBs, you can't play that in the same asset. So if Globex IB is set short, but Asia IB set long, which one of those has a validation over the other one or more significance over the other one? We don't know. Enter again after IB break? No. I'm happy with that trade. I'll be all done with that. I had a good night last night with Globex in Asia anyway.
Geez, you trade every session, dude.
Well, if they set up well.
Hey, fair enough.
I did lose last night on Asia, but I flipped it real quick. Entered short. Beautiful retest off the 25. SPY's a lot weaker right now. Holy smokes. 250 USD, 1 micro in 3 days. I did, if you guys didn't see the post I made on X yesterday, to get or 2 days ago, to get a 10K month with prop firms, all you have to do, and this isn't too good to be true or me blowing smoke, all you have to do is aim for like 160. I'm not saying that you should aim for 160 a day, but if there's 20 trading days, if you copy traded 10 25K accounts, which you can get 5 on Lucid, 5 on Tradeify, or 5 on Tradeify, 5 on MyFunded Futures, copy trading 10 25K accounts, your upfront costs, if you had a 100% pass rate, which I'll assign like a 50% pass rate for it, you'll spend $1,200, but you'll get a payout with 1 micro. You'll get a 10K payout at the end of the month with 1 micro and aiming for about 160 a day. So you don't need to have a crazy amount of profit. If you do it with 5 accounts, 320 a day. And you'll take 2 payouts for the month. But that is including passing the evaluation, funding the account, making the profit requirement on the funded account, and getting the payout at the end of the month. and it is the actual math behind it for Lucid. It's $66 to buy an account right now. They have 50% off your first 2, and then after the average is 66 because I think your first 2 are like $54, and then your next ones go up to 70 or 80 maybe. Upfront cost $350. You need to make $1,250 to pass the account, and then $2,100 to get a payout. So $3,350 on those, and then for Tradeify it is $3,550. 3,600 actually. They don't have a. It's not $1,250. It's $1,500. So 3,600 profit, 3,350 profit. Split the difference or bring them both to 3,600, and that is to get a 10K payout in 1 month. IB50 long on ES, a valid setup here for you. Yeah, you could.
I mean, it looks bullish. I will say that.
Yeah, you definitely could. This one, I'm not as.
You have to go to wide stop. Yeah.
Happy with because it's a 1-to-1. It's not a terrible trade. You have the reason I don't like it as much as NQ is because you don't have the draw or previous day's high on there. ES already took previous day's high. It's a 24 point trade. So $120 per micro. It's still, yeah, it's a good one. NQ I like more because we have 2 points of confluence to the upside. We have IB high and then also have previous day's high right there. Here it comes. Nice little 20-point 30-point candle on the 1 minute time frame. We are off IB high by 20 points right now.
Yeah, I think this looks good for longs, personally. The only thing is we did have trouble moving higher as well yesterday, but I mean, on that news, I mean, it looks good.
Hopefully, a decent amount of you guys were able to get those.
Zink, do you know what? Do you know what Table Mountain is in Cape Town?
Do I know what?
Haven't heard of Table Mountain in Cape Town?
I have
famous
not.
mountain. You haven't? Search it.
Not. Table Mountain, Cape Town.
Yeah.
Is that where you are right now?
Yeah. Go check that. I'll show you. It's out the window, yeah.
Just a big ledge?
Yeah. It's like a flat mountain. Yeah. It's right outside the window, yeah. It's a bit cloudy, yeah.
That's cool. Very cool. Also why it's very important to not enter too early in the day unless you have very strong confluence to it. Especially with the IB, it finalizes at 10:30. There's not much of a reason to enter prior to 10, even 10:15 on it, because you're also exposing yourself to a lot of risk. The longer you're in the market, the more often it is that you lose. So if you're in and out within like 5 to 10 minutes, you're fine. The longer you're in the market, the more likely it is that you have news that happens like this. You have data points that you can't control. You have unpredicted catalysts that come out and just smoke you.
I agree with that. I was using that new feature on Zella AI, the new AI feature, and if I hold my trades for longer than 30 minutes, more often than not, I should just close it if a trade doesn't work in 30 minutes.
Yep.
If I'm not, yeah.
That was a beautiful long. Here comes the high. Stupid mosquito. Been bugging me all morning.
James, are you at the mountain? Yeah, right out here. Tail Mountain. Squirrel jump. Oh wow.
Oh, it's sunny again. This weather is crazy. Just barely missing the high. We are off by 10 points right now. Should go and smack through the high and then immediately take previous day's high as well, 733.09. So 30,192 again. That's the profit target we're looking for. There we go. I always like to emphasize this as well. So that trade I secured at 10:30 on the dot. 80-point trade at 10:30. I would now be in that trade. So entry was at 10:24, exit at 10:30, 6-minute trade. I'd now be in that trade for an additional 17 minutes, waiting for it to push up another 20 points. Then it's actually back below where I got it right now. So that's another thing with preserving mental capital a little bit, is not, you don't need to hold it for, I don't let my trades run to full stop loss anymore. Like if it gets below 50% of the IV, I know it's probably going to go and break the opposing direction. You don't need to let your trades run to full TP either. So there's no reason for me to hold this trade for another 17 minutes. Obviously, this is all coming from hindsight, and I ended up winning in this scenario. Holding the trade for another 17 minutes to get 20 points, or would you rather just take the 80 points in 6 minutes? So 100-point trade over 23 minutes, now 24 minutes, or an 80-point trade in 6 minutes. Which one would you guys rather have? Which one would you, oh, James left. Which one would all of you in here rather have? 80 points in 6 minutes or 100 points in 25?
I'd rather trade all day and make the same money. Yeah, no, obviously it's I mean, as I said, like if someone offered you to work for 20 minutes or whatever, 6 minutes and get paid $200, would you take it? Of course.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, you just said the same thing too. I mean, there's no reason to turn down that amount of money.
It's free money, bro. Time. It's free money. And you know, I think we actually, as traders, we get desensitized. We actually get desensitized to like money. Like you can lose $1,000 on a day, dude. That's like a cost for an international flight. You know, that's like a flight for you, a round trip. You know, and I think we get desensitized quite a bit to money as traders. But I think if you can, once you come back to like the basics, you realize, geez, if I can do like, you know, whatever your number is, like $300-400 a day trading, that's fantastic. You know.
Yeah.
What's that? You know, you always got that like that post like $400 a day is obviously you're not going to always do $400 a day, but it's like if you can do $400 a day on average, that's $100,000 in a year. You know?
Yeah, $200 a day is 50,000.
50K, yeah, 50. Yeah,
that's on one account too.
I found that picture. I think the guys know what I'm saying. Yeah, this one. Yeah, $200 a day is 50K. Yeah, $400 a day is 100K. Yeah, there you go.
Now coming up on an additional 20 minutes in the trade. I'm going to keep counting all the time. We'll see if it breaks in the next 10. That'd be pretty surprising if it didn't. But I hope everyone understands the point that I'm trying to make is that you don't need to let your trade run to full TP if that means that you're going to force yourself to sit at the desk for another 30 minutes, 25 minutes. I'm hoping it continues to stall, then breaks after 11. There's a really good chance of a big drop of the break if the break is after 11. Oh, such a good move to close early today. Yeah, I'm very happy with that close. It's still below where I got out right now. I got out at 30,156. It's at 152. Entry was 176. 30,076. 10 points of drawdown. 14 points of drawdown on the trade. And that 14 points of drawdown was maybe in 20 seconds.
Well, you're always going to have drawdown in your trade. I mean, you're not going to get bottom ticket every time, right?
Yeah. Another 22 minutes. What's going on, NRG? How you doing? Yeah, I wouldn't really. I wouldn't care to hold this for another 20 points. You can either look at it as you missed out on $80 or you saved yourself another. Like, what's your time worth in the trade? What's your mental capital worth in the trade? And there was someone that this is the first time I've disagreed with someone significantly. But averaging into a winning trade and then having something like this happen and your winning trade turns into either a blown account, DLL, or just a losing trade in general, that's all with mental capital as well. So the concept that this guy was trying to push was, I pass my accounts this way because when I'm in a winning trade, like right now, he aggressively adds over and over and over and over and over again until it hits his TP. So he'll enter originally with like 2 micros if it's a 25K or 50K account. And he will ride that trade up 20 points, and he'll average in with another 4 micros or another 2 micros. And it goes up another 5 points, and he gets another 2 micros, and it goes up another 5 and gets another 4. So by the end of his trade, if it does hit its TP, he's in for like 2.5 minis. But what happens when, and we'll go to the 1 minute time frame for this, what happens when you average in aggressively, you're in for 2 minis now. And then you have this candle at, what time is this? 10:46. The candle drops 50 points. So you're averaging in the entire way up. That 50-point drop probably hits a DLL on a 2.5 mini, 3 mini position. And then alongside that, the reason that I disagreed with him so much is because it was on my funded futures accounts, not my funded futures TV, just the accounts. And you can see, if anyone didn't know, with my funded futures accounts, the 3 digits at the end of it is the number account that you're on. And his was at 586.
Oh my goodness. Dude, that's crazy.
So he's explaining to people how he trades, and he's spent like 586 accounts. The cheapest account at my funded futures is probably $87.
Oh my God.
So at minimum, he's spent $40,000, $45,000 with money, my funded futures.
Dude, that's crazy. 50. That's 50 racks, bro.
Yeah, and that's over like not a long time either. That's over maybe a year.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. I don't think I've spent that amount. Honestly, I don't think I've spent that amount on prop firms in 4 years, bro.
I think I'm probably pretty close.
Yeah, I know, but you remember the futures ones are a little bit like you reset them and stuff like that. The CFDs are a little bit different, you know.
CFDs, futures, you also don't get your money back when you pass it.
Correct. Yeah. True.
Yeah, don't do that. Or
yeah,
hopefully that helps you guys out now. If you go and see someone's stream and you see that they're trading on my funded futures accounts, take a look at the top of the account. The last 3 digits on that account is how many they've had, how many they've traded on.
What happens if it gets to 1,000? So the last 4 digits.
I don't think he's making enough money back on affiliate codes. I'm not going to say who it is, but if you guys scroll on Twitter, you'll see. Same guy that I called out a couple of weeks ago for the almost at the IB high, by the way. The Lucid Live guy that was all upset. He's actually from your side of the ocean, James.
Wait, which country?
I don't know. Maybe Wales.
That's not my side. No, don't put him in.
It's on your side of the country.
Yeah, but no, I'm in the southern hemisphere, boss. He's in the northern hemisphere.
His name was like Callum something. Callum Trades. He was upset that he got moved to live with Lucid, and he said he was trying to say that they moved him to live after 1 payout. But then you look at his Lucid account, and his Lucid account number's at like 89 for funded accounts.
Yeah, Zink, Wales and South Africa. Yeah, same neck of the woods. That's like a 12.
Same side of the ocean. I said ocean. Same side of the ocean. I know I said that. Yeah, Callum Parker. He was all upset about Lucid, and then you go and zoom in on his screenshot. He's on his 86th funded account. We have taken the IB on NQ. It has not been taken. MNQ took it. We hit 30,189. We're 2 points off of the previous day's high price target. It's back to 172 right now. Both over there. Yeah, on that side.
Jeez, Zink.
South Africa.
Next time I need to come up. I want to watch a Patriots game, bro. We'll go up and watch a game.
Absolutely.
It's not too far from you, right? It's not too far.
Like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours, maybe. You know who I'm talking about, Pipti. Shoot me a DM on Discord, Pipti. I'll see if you're correct.
Pipti, did you see my Mark Evans jersey I got? Signed Mark Evans jersey.
Signed Mike Evans jersey?
Yeah. Signed.
Almost there. Almost the previous day's high. We did take the IB on QQQ now. I think that probably means NQ. Yes, we have taken previous day's high on NQ. 30,192 PT hit. 192.50 is what we just hit. There's previous day's high on Qs. Right before 11. Right at 11. Beautiful trade today. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. ES coming too. Yeah, that one's a lot weaker. All right, guys, that will do it for today. Have a great rest of your day. Andre and James will be live tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I will be live again next Tuesday.
Perfect. Have a good one, guys.
See ya.